Okay, now let us go to sea level rise, because the importance of rise in sea level cannot be overstated as regard to UPSC syllabus. At the same time, the importance and the implications in a global scale. We service the environment, we service the human aspect of it, we service the social aspect of it. Okay, now sea level rise, basically we say we won't be discussing the process actually behind, but we will touch briefly in order for you to understand and appreciate what is sea level rise like. Okay, there are actually basically three processes through which sea level is used to rise. Okay, the first one is, you all know, when there is a heating, when the temperature increases, expansion will take place. So with the global warming, increase of the temperature of the water bodies, expansion of the water bodies takes place, and that is how a sea level rise. Forget about all other factors, just focus your attention in the global warming. Because of the warming, water volume increase of the water volume will automatically increase the level of the sea, and that is how sea level is increased. Second process is geomorphic process, we say. It is very simple. Suppose you have a tabular block here. You have a tabular block here, and this is a sea level. You mark here, okay, this is a sea level. Present sea level, L. Now what will happen is, geomorphic process is what? Geomorphic process is certain changes in the landmass. Just understand like that, height of a landmass. So tomorrow, because of certain activities, this landmass went up. Then what will happen? This sea level will come here. Okay? So there will be a fall in sea level with respect to this. Before it was in this level, but because this landmass has risen upward, there is a relative decrease in sea level. And suppose if the same flow submerges down, what will happen? There will be a rise of sea level relative to this area without changing any volume in any part of the ocean. Okay, that is second type. The third type is about melting of ice or the melting of glacier in Antarctic and the Greenland. It contributes to changes in sea level subsequently, because the area itself is very vast, and the area that has been covered by the glacier is too vast, and it causes significant effect. And that particular term, we can say, is known as isostatic equilibrium. Isostatic equilibrium. See, it's very simple term. Just remember the term, everything will just fall in line. Okay. Now, for example, it is a piece of land, but we all know the first layer of the earth is a continental crust. Below that we have mantle, and in mantle we have an asthenosphere that is in plastic stage, which is in a fluid-like in nature. Okay. Now what will happen? For example, this is asthenosphere. This is a earth crust. If there is formation of glacier in this place, there is an increase in mass. When there is increase in mass, there will be a pressure on this direction. It will this one, there will be a stress that will be built up, and it will, there will be a subduction, okay, downward motion. What will happen in this region? See, what will happen in this mantle region in asthenosphere is, there will be a flow of asthenosphere in this direction because of the pressure that is exerted on this. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Okay, there will be a flow of asthenosphere in this direction, means because of the pressure that has been exerted on this region. That is one case. The other case is, suppose we remove this, there was a melting that took place, and complete reduction or the complete disappearance of the I mass from this region. What will happen? A load is reduced. When there is load reduction in load, the previous separation part will come up. When it comes up, in spite of flowing in this direction, now the asthenosphere will flow in this direction to occupy the space that has been created. The entire cycle is known as isostatic equilibrium. Okay, and this is also responsible for rise and fall in sea level. So in a very broad sense, there are three types of change, causes for change in eye level. One is physical aspect. Second thing is about geomorphic process, and the third one, impact of an eye mass, impact of change in sea level. What are the impacts? I have written elaborately, so I'll be just reading. If you please interrupt me if you miss out any point. Over 6 million people live in coastal areas that are less than 10 meters above sea level, and 2/3 of the world's cities that have population over 5 million are located in this at-risk area. If relocation is delayed or population do not evacuate during times when the areas are inundated by storm surges, very large number of environmental refugees are likely to result. Okay, these are keywords. Please highlight this: environmental refugees. Effects are likely to include coastal erosion, wetland. You know the importance of wetland. Okay, you know the importance of wetland. For example, due to some reasons, and wetlands are very important for migratory birds. Okay, migratory birds. They come from Siberia, from many other regions, and it is very important for migratory birds. And suppose if you destroy this wetland, the path of or the seasons of migratory bird is destroyed, and in the food link or a food chain, birds also play a very important role, and that gets affected. Coastal plain flooding, salinization of aquifers and soil, that which I have explained to you, and a loss of habitation of fish, birds and other. As a result, very large number of wetland and swamp species are likely to at serious risk. In addition, species that rely upon the existence of sea ice to survive are likely to be especially impacted as the retreat accelerate, posing the threat of extinction for polar bears, seals, and some breed of penguins. Okay. Now, you see this. These are the regions, if there is a slight change in sea level, these are the regions that is going to affect very badly. Please follow the cursor. See, it is occupied by not so rich countries, right? And there will be an island here, Indian Ocean Islands, all are vulnerable. So the point which we have discussed about the environment refugees likely to create, because the areas are very poor, the dimensions need to be highlighted in the exam. And if you come to this Southeast Asia region, Indonesia, Brunei, all these regions, see, eastern coast of China. Challenges, what are the challenges? Unfortunately, many of the nations that are most vulnerable to sea level rise do not have the resources to prepare for it. This is one of the reasons. Another possibility for some island nation is the danger of losing their freshwater supplies as sea level rise pushes salt water into the aquifers. Island nations do not have enough land at higher elevation to support displaced coastal population. Do you appreciate that point? Suppose, for example, India, some sea level activity happened on the coastal region. If it is politically possible, we can, occupy the higher grounds. But in an island nation like Maldives or small island nation, it becomes very difficult. If there is a rise in sea level, there is a complete destruction. This is the recent sea level trend. Okay, see, in 1880 this was at this level. Gradually, after 30 years, from 1920 onwards, it is increasing simultaneously. See? So this is, and if we continue like this, you can just imagine how it is going to affect. Ocean acidification, that is another very important geological geographic features. About a third of human emission of carbon dioxide, CO2, transferring most of it into deep ocean. Dissolved CO2 creates carbonic acid. Okay, see, and carbonic acid, this is very important. This plays a very destructive role for the coral formation or the shell, because it reacts with this carbonic acid, destroys the lime content of that particular environment. Okay, because the carbonic acid dissolves any lime content substance in the ocean water, right? So dissolved CO2 creates carbonic acid, which reduces the ocean pH level. You all know the pH level, right? It is the how acidic or how basic it is. It is in a scale of 0 to 14. So 0 is very acidic, 14 it is basic, means alkaline. The middle is somewhere around 7 to 8, and that is how it is distinguished. Now, making it more acidic. Now the oceanic water is a little bit basic, but because of creation of this carbonic acid, which is acidic in nature, the ocean water is going to be more acidic day by day. And once it is going to become more acidic, it will destroy the lime environment or any lime substance that is present in the marine environment. And what are the lime substance or the lime environment? All the coral reefs, all the shell water bodies, they will be destroyed completely. Historically, ocean pH value was this much. Just read through. A decrease in ocean pH could affect marine life by lowering the amount of calcium carbonate. Okay. Coral, shellfish to build their shell. See, this is a coral reef. Under this structure, this becomes an habitat for small fish. And this is very crucial. Once this coral reef is destroyed, the destruction of coral reef is okay, but the fauna, the fauna that is dependent on this as an habitation also get destroyed. These small fish, for this is their home. Once the home is destroyed, the inhabitant of that place is also disturbed. Thermohaline circulation. This is another very important circulation. What is thermo? Thermo is heat, related to heat. Thermal. Haline is salt. Means what? Differences in heat, differences in salinity, which cause circulation in the ocean water, is known as thermohaline circulation. There are two types of thermohaline circulation. One is called horizontal circulation, other is vertical circulation. Horizontal circulation, the example you will find in Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. Because of high rate of evaporation that is taking place in the Mediterranean region, the level of water is comparatively lower as compared to the Atlantic Ocean. And through the Gibraltar Strait, the water from the Atlantic Ocean comes into the Mediterranean Sea. And that kind of transfer of water from one water body to the other is known as thermohaline circulation. That is because of the changes in salinity. That is called thermohaline. But that is horizontal movement. Now, other movement is the vertical movement. Vertical movement you will find in northeast coast of USA, America. You have a North Atlantic drift. You have other currents that are coming there, all merge together, and after that they go inside. And it creates a circulation in a global scale. That is another type of thermohaline circulation. Now, the point you need to remember is, because of change in climatic condition, or because there is a change in global temperature, increase in the temperature of water bodies, the oceanic water bodies, this thermohaline circulation is disrupted. This thermohaline circulation is disturbed, and it will affect the, because see, thermohaline circulation, see for example, I'll show you in this slide. See, this is a vertical type of thermohaline circulation. This is North Atlantic Drift current, which all combines together. There will be another current, they all meet together, they subduct inside, they flow towards the South Pole. Along the coast of Antarctica, they go inside, they flow inside. Okay, this is under the water. Gradually, on near this Aleutian, you say Aleutian Islands in this region. Okay, it will come up, it will flow on the shallow water bodies. This. What do you mean by this kind of motion? This kind of circulation is responsible for distribution of heat, distribution of salinity, distribution of heat in a global scale, in the water bodies, especially in the marine environment. On the surface environment, the distribution of the heat or the transfer of heat from one region to the other, yesterday we have seen, and that is through ocean currents. But today we see this thermohaline circulation with respect to the marine environment. And that is how salinity and temperature is maintained in the marine environment. But this marine environment circulation also affects the other atmospheric changes that takes place. Okay. What is this? Any idea? See, this is a map of India. This is India. This is Telangana. This is Andhra, Orissa, something. Now, any idea what is this? Yeah, this red color and the smoke, this is a satellite imagery. This is a forest fire in India. Okay, today I am going to take a topic known as forest fire in India. Why forest fire? Because, see, we are not going to be a firefighter. So, why forest fire? The forest fire in India's significance, let me tell you. We all say deforestation is one of the biggest issues that is going on, environmental issues. Deforestation, forest degradation. For forest degradation, the biggest enemy is deforestation. Forest fire comes next. That is the importance of forest fire in India. And tomorrow, you see, the trend in UPSC is like this. UPSC will ask one question in the exam. After the exam, we will come and say, UPSC also asks questions from many different areas. We never knew something like that. So, you might think this topic a little bit offbeat, but we should be ready with this. See, traditional knowledge is already there in the book. You can read anytime. But let us also explore the fringe areas where there is a possibility of coming questions. And the fringe areas, in such a case, we are taking important fringe areas. Okay, there is a significance in each and all the topics that we are discussing. The forest fire, see, after deforestation, forest fire is the most important cause of habitat destruction. Usually occurs in the dry season in India. Okay, March and April in India, when there is no rain and dry leaves and twigs litter the forest floor. Causal factors are, most of the forest fires in India are deliberately set by small-scale farmers or landless rural people. This is one scenario. The other scenario is, there is a lot of environmental issues that is happening in the Delhi region. You all know. Because of the burning of forests by the NCR region, that is a region near Delhi, the farmers near Delhi, on the Punjab, Haryana regions and all. And it is creating environmental hazards, air pollution. It's a very big environmental issue that is going on. And environmental issues is a very crucial part of geography. That's why we are studying this. Another most important causes of forest fires is related to the need for fodders for grazing animals. Because it is considered, when you burn the cultivation, means the field, more fresh and more nutritious fodder comes up. That is a general belief. in Central Asia, no, in Central India, the production of tendu leaves, you all know this, okay, is another major cause of forest fire, because for this you need to burn a large tract of forest area in order to grow this. Mahua pickers, this is in the Punjab and Western UP region, you will find this, Mahua pickers, okay. Burn the dry leaf under the trees to get a clear patch of floor to facilitate flower collection. In India, I have taken 2-3 places where there is a rampant practice of forest fire. And they practice this forest fire for their economic activities. That needs to be appreciated here. Effects of forest fire are regeneration is killed or dies back, thereby delaying the establishment of new crop and extending the rotation. Mortality may result from intense fires in older crops, although the trees develop thick bark that protects them. Repeated burning leads to site deterioration, changes in soil nutrient status, and accelerated erosion due to destruction of ground flora. Thus also reduce the rate of growth. Timber quality is affected by scorching from the base of the tree, which damages the cambium, leading to the defective bud loss. Fungal infection may occur through the damaged tissues and cause rot. Okay, these are very simple. Modern forest fire control project. Physical prevention measures, educational measures. A key element of successful fire protection program lies in the early detection. This is very important. Fire towers restricting entry. See, the simple point is, suppose this is a tract of forest. This is a tract of forest. In summer season, dry leaves are there. And because of anthropogenic, at the same time, natural process, the fire catches up, burns the entire forest. If it starts here, it goes into all the regions. Now, fire protection mechanisms are, for example, what we will do is, we will just create a path here. Okay? Like this, we will create a path. Means we will clear. So what will happen, if fire generates in this area, it is confined to this region. And before this fire goes into other region, it is detected and destroyed. It is detected and controlled, okay, bringing the area under safety, okay. That is one way. Second thing is, in the forest you create a watchtower, which is known as a fire tower, for the early detection and dissemination of information to the respective authority and bringing under control. And clearing of the roads and the railway tracks, that is also very important, because dry leaves in dry areas are usually on the roadsides or the rail tracks. What will happen is, the passengers, while traveling by the road or by train, unintentionally might, because of their action, might create. That is very important. See, legal provisions are, you have this India Forest Act 1972. You have Wildlife Protection 72. These are very powerful legislation to control forest fire, because it's a, it's a punishable offense. But as we all know, in India, it is in book, not practiced.